Cool. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Habari Live, everyone. We're going to have another great episode, a beginning of 2022. We made it another year, people. Pat yourself on the back. A lot of people didn't make it, unfortunately. We want to talk about our excellent guest we have today. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do some big things today. And we want to welcome you to Habari Entertainment, where we bring you news and entertainment updates and exclusive interviews. And we're live from Habari Studios in Paradise Valley, Phoenix, Arizona. How you doing today, Aisha?
Doing well. How about you?
I'm doing good. Again, I'm Dick Lean Ellison, and I'm your host, and Aisha here is my co-host here. And like we said, we like to go over the week's news and entertainment and everything that's going on with the world, and not just the city of Phoenix, but also everything in your neighborhood. This week we have a special guest who has been a pioneer in the online radio industry for years. This gentleman deserves respect in Phoenix. He interviews legends, the very best in the industry. One of the hardest working gentlemen I know online. I see everything he's doing. That's all this guy do is work. One of the first to create an online platform in Phoenix, Arizona. We want to give much love and appreciation to TJ Supa. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Yo, it's good, Dave. How you guys doing? It's beautiful to be in the building. I'm glad to be in the building. You guys have been doing some work yourself, so I see y'all out there.
Man, we appreciate you, my brother. We appreciate you. We are honored to be in the same house as you, bro, because you, like I said, man, you interview some of the legends in the game. And last week you were just interviewing Humpty Hump from Digital Underground, the guy who came in for the
late Shock G.
Shock G.
The late Shock G brought him in,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which was beautiful because it kind of certifies him. But yeah, it was Young Hump from Digital Underground. It was a beautiful interview. We learned a lot about. The timing was perfect considering you know the passing of Shock G. You know what I mean? So it was beautiful because he's the legend of Humpty Hump to live on. I told him, you know, interestingly enough, I remember, you know, getting the first Digital Underground records and then watching videos like, you know, Humpty Dance and Do What You Like and all that other stuff when I was younger. And you know, I would see Shock and I would see Humpty Hump, and I always saw them as two different people. And I didn't know that they were the same person, literally probably until like an album or two later. You know what I'm saying?
He did a good job.
And they're like, yo, you know, you know, they're like, yeah, that's the same person with a nose on it. I'm like, no, like I felt it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I felt it. It was a crazy situation. But I remember telling him that, and then he explained to me that he was like, that was probably the biggest hoodwink, you know, in hip hop ever.
Right.
He said there were people that literally didn't know that until maybe a couple of years ago.
Right.
You
Yeah, man.
So that was interesting.
People
That was
were,
really interesting.
man, his whole vernacular changed.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
way he spoke changed.
yeah.
The way he moved changed.
Right.
So it was definitely a situation. I definitely didn't think it was the same person.
No.
And then he dropped songs, and his rhymes were so different than the way he rhymed any other time.
Right.
You know
right,
what I'm
right.
saying? Buttermilk Biscuits.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
all
yeah.
the old jams. And when he rapped, he was like, who is this?
It
And
was
he
so-
sound real country, a real southern
Yeah.
drawl that he used.
Yeah.
So it was confusing
Yeah.
at best.
It was a beautiful interview. It's still running on some of our other platforms right now, but it was a beautiful interview. Like Young Hump said, like Shock was so into that when they would go places, Shock would he would see somebody and he would be like, oh look, okay, Das Effects is over there. So he would whisper in Hump's ear like, yo Hump, the last time we saw Das Effects was on this day at this concert and everything else. So when Young Hump went and talked to him with Shock G, Young Hump would be able to tell, oh hey yo, I remember catching you guys there. He was like that's how deep Shock G was into it. It was a beautiful situation. Real
Man,
beautiful
that is
situation.
dope, man. Rest
Yeah.
in peace to the great Shock G.
Right,
Man.
right.
He's an intricate part of hip hop.
Yes.
Many legends to the game. Wouldn't be a Tupac without the late Shock G.
Right.
We wouldn't have a lot of things that we know of today of hip hop. I think of one of their more explicit tracks, man. What was it? Industry, something.
The Freaks of the Industry.
Freaks of the Industry.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness, man! I remember that song was. Boy, you couldn't play that. Boy.
It's so funny because I thought I was the only one that liked that song, but
Oh,
when I
my
talk to other
goodness,
people, they bring it up too.
Man.
You know.
And it was on the B side.
Yeah, it was like close to the end of the album.
Yeah,
I
what? Yeah.
remember.
Hey,
that.
that was when you love hip hop,
Right.
man, and you making sure I keep just the focus on you. I know that
Right.
Radio Supa's doing great, man. And
Yeah.
how many years have you been running this so far?
We have been running for 12 years. So
Wow.
I normally don't talk about things in the spectrum of what happens in this state just because everything, I've always had like more of a worldwide,
Yeah,
viewpoint.
man. Yeah.
Even from starting Radio Supa, it's always been we need to touch the world, not just touch the state. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So, but in the terms of what's happening with the state, as far as my understanding, it's the longest running digital radio,
Yeah.
internet digital radio
Pioneer.
station, and show in the history of the state.
Mhm.
Like we're in 13 years as of 2022.
There you
You
go,
know what
bro.
I'm saying? So 13 years on the air. We've done. It's been amazing. We've done amazing numbers. Ups and downs over the course of the period of the 13 years. We've had like a lot of amazing things happen, and then right now, like the syndication is through the roof. A couple of years ago, I started syndicating the show to make sure that I was able to get the show to play in as many places as I could.
Right.
And this is probably the first time I'm announcing it outside of maybe on my own show. But we literally just hit 90 stations.
Wow.
So the show is playing literally like I do the live show, and every single day, multiple times a day, every day for the next week and a half, the show is playing on our other 90 stations. So it plays in so many places. Like I say, it plays so much that I do my live show on Tuesday nights,
Mhm.
and at Tuesday night at the exact same time,
Right.
my last week's show is playing on another station. So it's overlapping me, what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
But that's
That's what
where
you've
it's
been working
been.
hard for.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's what you've been putting in this time
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
And then you deserve it, man.
Yes, thank you.
Like I said, man, you are a pioneer in this.
Thank you, sir.
And when I interviewed you
Yes.
the first time on the Daniel and Tita podcast,
Right.
I learned a lot about where you came from and,
Yes.
and how you pioneered what a lot of people are doing today.
Right.
Most people
Right,
who are trying
right.
to reach people out here,
Yeah.
they're using your blueprint and what you began and how you started to get this. And again, I want to go over how did you come up with the idea at a time where the internet was in its infancy,
Right,
and most
right.
people wasn't even trying to get
Yeah.
things like that going. What gave you
Right.
the idea and the motivation to start an online show?
Right. Not that this influenced us, but I always like to give a salute to Freeze. And I say that because I know when we started, and it wasn't necessarily an influence on us, but I always give him a big salute.
Yeah.
When we started,
He's definitely
that
a
was the
pioneer
only that was the only like internet radio station that I remember that was actually running. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? So I always give a big salute to him. Me and him are great. But in terms of what happened with Radio Supa, it was an interesting set of things that happened that led me to Radio Supa. My brother works in film, so going back just so you guys get the whole story, my brother works in film. So around, I had just moved back from New York, probably early 2000s. I just moved back from New York, and there was a film project we were working on. So I was a music supervisor on the film, and I scored the film, and I had a soundtrack basically for that film. So I was waiting for some company to come and put that soundtrack out, and it never happened. And I landed on this epiphany of, okay, you need to release the soundtrack yourself.
Right.
So I put the soundtrack out. We got it on iTunes, all that other stuff, which was big because this was like 2006 when this happened.
Yeah.
So I had another film that we finished where I had another soundtrack. Well, the first soundtrack didn't come out. Second soundtrack I put out myself. That was the one that landed, the second one.
Mm-hmm.
So I had another soundtrack proposal. Someone had a finished film, and they came to me and they said, TJ, we know you do like film music for film.
Right.
So can you soundtrack this project for us? So I soundtracked the project, put it together, landed distribution and everything, and we got the thing out, but the film company never put the film out.
Wow.
So the soundtrack is out, but the film never came out.
Right.
So I had this thing, and in the process of putting this project out, I there was no record label, so I had to create a record label in order to put the project out.
Right.
So then I have the record label and the project's out, and I landed distribution, and that's great. And then I'm shopping, trying to get songs played on the radio. And, FM radio down here at the time, it was like, I always describe it as, it was like getting a song on there was like winning a lottery.
Wow.
Not like, the big super lottery, but just
Right.
like a 3-number lottery or something like that. Like, you could do it, but then they'll play your song for like 3-4 weeks or something. You can't do anything. You
Right.
can't push a project that they're going to play your song 3 or 4 weeks and you don't even hear your own song
Right.
on the radio. Other people coming up, yo, Dip, I heard your track on the radio,
Right.
but you don't even hear it because it's played so infrequently, So that was becoming a problem. There was a lady that I did work with, and I put her album out,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was time to push this album. We had
Right.
to promote this album, and in trying to promote this album, we went to radio again, and they're like, yeah, well, we played her single like 2 years ago, so we're not going to run it again. So it's like I have this album project, and there's no way to promote
Right.
the album because I can't
Right.
get radio.
Can't get it on the airwaves.
So I had a friend of mine that I met at one of the recording studios I worked at in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking to me about radio, and I was just kind of putting him off. Life was real crazy at the time.
Right.
I was like a single dad. I think I had just gone through a divorce. Both my baby mothers were in jail. It was like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Wow.
I'm like working and doing all this other stuff and putting out a project, and it was nuts. It was nuts. Life was nuts. So but I got to this point in this project where it's like this project is like hitting a wall because I can't. There's no way to promote it.
Right.
We put a music video together for it. I had like a film crew fly out from California.
Wow.
We shot a like everything was there. Like
Right.
the music video was starting to get a little bit of push, and then we couldn't push the album.
Right.
We couldn't promote it. So
Get your plays
the idea for this radio station came into play. Like, wait a second, I'm sitting on a project, and maybe if I start this radio station right now, then I can use this radio station to help push this project while the
Right,
project
right.
is still relevant.
Mhm.
So it was like the album situation was happening, and it was like I have to, in order to move forward, I had to take another step up. You know what I'm saying? We're in the Habari entertainment office. In order to move forward, you got to take a step up. You know
That's
what
real.
I'm saying? So it was like you got to do. So you just open a record label. Now you probably need to open a radio station because there's you have your own projects that come out, and there's a lot of other creative individuals that managers, producers, artists that don't have a platform because they couldn't get on FM radio because FM radio didn't really show any kind of respect, short of individuals like Matlocks or something like that.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? At this time, this was early. You know what I'm saying? Ramsey's job. Individuals like that, but short of like maybe 1 or 1.5 shows like that,
Mhm.
there was no way to really push anything.
Right.
So that was the thing that kind of birthed the idea to start Radio Supa. That's where the idea came from.
I mean,
You know,
necessity breeds.
Yeah.
Breeds intelligence.
right.
So when you need something,
Right.
you go to the board, man, and make it happen.
Right. We talked a little bit before about the significance of media. I think it was important that we also had a better control over the things that we do, over the
That's
projects that we create. I feel
Mhm.
like it's significant that we have some sort of control, or we have some sort of control in terms of pushing the projects
That's
that
real.
we work on. If we create a project, we don't want to sit it in somebody else's hands
Mm-hmm.
that may not have our best interest at heart
That's real, man.
to make these projects turn.
That's what we
Control
always
our
talk
own
about.
narrative. Right,
We always
right.
think controlling the narrative.
Correct.
That's what it's about.
Right.
That's what we about.
Yeah.
We speak about this all the time because
Right.
if you don't have control of what people are saying about your neighborhood,
Right.
and what you are able to put on your airwaves
Right.
or your TV waves, then you don't have any control.
Right.
And we have to be able to control these things. So
Right.
we have to become media.
Right.
That's why it's so important that
We
shows
use it.
like yours is people have to listen to them,
Right.
and make sure that they stay alive because we need these people.
Right.
We need people like you. We need people like Ramses Job,
Right. Right.
Jello.
Right.
You know, all these guys have to be cherished, man, because the idea to putting our words and our minds and what we think out there instead of having someone else speak for us. We know what happened before in the 80s and 70s.
Right. Right.
When they put pictures of us and they made the picture for us.
Right.
So then things start becoming more about violence, and that's how I look at it.
Right.
Because
It was
Right.
their
you-
perspective.
right,
of
it's
us
other
and
people's
how we were
perspective
perceived
of it.
in
That's
their
right.
eyes.
And when you
Right.
focus on the bad, that's what you get.
Right.
And I think we have to focus on people like you who are making difference in this neighborhood and in the city and the
Yes,
world, man.
yes,
Because
yes.
people around the world listen to Radio Super.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Not just in Phoenix. This is a worldwide radio show.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know what I
Worldwide.
mean? And the internet changed the game.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It definitely did.
It gave us a way to step around these radio stations who had a clutch on everything.
Right.
Because
Right.
we can't get an antenna to put out the airwaves.
Right.
There's thousands and thousands, 250, 500,000 just to get in there.
Right.
But the internet gave us a way to be able to get
Connect
our
to more
voices
people.
heard
Right.
and connect to the people and go around those fuckers.
Right.
And then they're the ones that suffer.
Yeah, yeah.
Because who listens to the radio?
Right.
You know what I
I
mean?
say it like this, for anybody, and you still of course are going to have significance if you're talking about like maybe high 97.
Right.
Other than in the places like middle of Atlanta, middle of Cali,
Mhm.
okay, other than places like that, you figure like when you get in your car, you know what I'm saying, you probably turn your car on, and you might have the streaming radio, whatever, you know what I'm saying, you might have that. You might turn on Pandora,
Mhm.
or you might turn on Apple Music and connect it to your car.
Right.
Or you might turn on Spotify. You know what I'm saying? But I say at this point, you know what I mean? I say that pretty much almost anybody would rather pay money to listen to something different than FM radio
That's real.
than to listen to FM radio for free.
That's real.
You know what I mean? And this is real life.
Right.
So when you think about the significance of platforms like this, or platforms like what we do with Radio Super or
Mhm.
anything, those platforms are significant. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean? Because one, it allows us to deliver the significant parts, and the parts of our narrative that we consider to be significant, and it doesn't allow someone else to control and tell our story.
That's
for
real,
us.
man.
You know what I mean? So
What you gonna say, babe?
I'm just gonna say it also allows us to control what we listen to.
right.
It allows us to say, man, next.
Right.
I don't want to listen to that.
Right.
That's bullshit.
Right.
I don't like that.
Right.
It gives us
That power that we
right,
didn't
that
have
power.
before.
Right.
Yeah, and definitely the internet gives us power of selection.
Right.
And I know the power of selection has been something I've juggled with
It's a joke.
because it's like we will never have another Michael Jackson
Right.
because of the power of selection.
Right.
We will never
right,
have
right.
another
Prince.
big
Love you will never
artist.
Right.
have another Tupac.
It will never be that big again
Right.
because we have so much selection.
Right. So many choices.
So many choices, and we can boop. So we used to have to hear Michael Jackson songs,
Right.
Yeah.
even if you didn't like him.
You had to hear a
You
song.
he grew on you because
Yeah.
you didn't. Everywhere you went,
That was
That's-
Michael Jackson.
that's the
song
shit that was
playing.
playing, and you couldn't hit fast forward on the fucking radio. You know what I'm
Right.
You
saying?
couldn't
Right.
hit fast forward walking through the grocery store like, oh shit.
Right, and it was everywhere. And the
Yeah.
videos were everywhere. And MTV ruled everything. What
Everything.
they said,
And
Was
106
hot.
in Park.
and well, yeah, definitely it was hot. And we have a lot of options nowadays. But I want to ask you one thing though.
Yeah, sure.
What keeps you going, man? What keeps you going in this industry? It's a tough industry, man.
Right.
Hip hop. What keeps you going? What keeps you getting up every day?
This is an interesting question because I feel like this is my mission.
Mm.
I feel like I'm here for a reason, and this is part of the reason that I'm here.
That's real.
You know what I mean? So it's more significant that I finish my mission than almost anything else. You know what I mean?
Real.
So as long as I'm in that mindset, I will continue to push.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm gonna do this for a little while and then when I get this age I'm gonna stop or something like that. This as far as my best understanding is the reason that I'm here. You know what I mean? Like I'm here and this is part of that reason. So whatever it is, I'm supposed to be doing this. I remember there was a period a while ago where I was gonna stop doing music and I get that, direct from God like, what do you're not going to stop.
Right.
Like, I didn't put you in music for this many years for you to stop doing it. Now I want you to go talk to this person, and I want you to go talk to this person, and I want you to go talk to this person. And those people that I went and talked to based off of that conversation, I ended up doing a lot of work with for like 10 years. You know what I mean? So it justified itself, and it justified that conversation. You know what I mean? But yeah, this is a mission for me. So this is something I expect that I'll be doing, perpetually while I'm here.
That's real.
Yeah.
And, it takes dedication to
Yeah.
anything that you want to do. I
Anything.
tell my nephew all the time, you're not going to get anywhere just laying around, bro.
Right.
You could talk about it all you want to, but that's just all it's going to be.
Right.
Just talk.
Right.
It's all about actions, man. You don't have to say a word, but if you're putting it in the work,
Put the work in.
it'll come out and you'll see it'll come to tuition.
Right.
You'll see your work in it.
Right.
Sitting at home, that's all you're going to end up having.
That's it.
So I respect everything you do, bro, and respect your drive.
Yeah.
I have one last question I want to ask you. What is something that many people don't know about you that the average person who knows DJ Supa that they would not know or imagine to know this about you?
That's a difficult question. That is a difficult question. There's a lot of different, I guess I would say like the music is always a significant part. It's a significant part of me. I consider music for me is like the sun to Superman. You know what I mean? Like if I'm in a musical environment, I can do things that I normally as a human would not be able to do. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of other things in here. There's I'm in the process of finishing some degree, whether it be a double master's or a doctorate, one of the two, which I guess I'll have to figure out next week or two. There's a preacher in here, there's a father in here, but there's a lot of different things that I can that don't automatically come to mind. I wouldn't consider myself to be just kind of a one-faceted person. There's a lot of different areas that I have interest in and kind of float around. Everybody probably sees music the most, which is fine. I'm not angry about that. But there's a lot of other things in here too. There's probably an activist in here, which I don't just openly shout out, but I try to make sure that we control our narrative, and that we control our lives. And I think that those things are important too. So, those would probably be some of the other interesting things about me.
Powerful, bro. Very intelligent.
Thank you.
Very intellectual. I like speaking with you. I like talking with you, brother. I'm going to send this over to Aisha for a moment before we can do the final exam.
Yeah.
Run a quick commercial, man, if I can get this set up real fast. Yeah, most definitely. We ain't back yet. Got one on my back.
Welcome to
We're not back.
the final exam.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm nervous. Nervous because I remember when I was on the show with you guys last time.
Uh-huh.
You know, there was a series of questions that I was asked that I did not have great answers to questions.
Yeah, a tough
Last
request.
time,
Right.
they were known as them damn
The
questions.
damn questions, yeah. That's what I called them after the show.
Right.
They hit me with them damn questions.
We might go back to that.
we might just.
Yeah.
Because that was pretty catchy. I like it.
Right.
Definitely.
All right. So, just like last time,
Yeah.
there are 5 questions.
5 questions.
We have 5 correct. We'll donate to your charity of choice.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right?
Yeah.
This time, there is a difference.
Okay.
It is not multiple choice.
Right.
So
No.
No multiple choice.
Okay.
Question 1.
Yeah.
Which car is often called the first muscle car?
Wow. I'm on a Ford Mustang. That's the best.
That would be correct.
Ah.
The answer would be the Pontiac GT.
The Pontiac GTO. Okay. That's cool. The other one, the next 4, I'm telling you all about the East Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Question 2.
Yeah.
In what year was the Corvette introduced?
Bro, this is easy. I think you guys should go back to them damn questions. 1947 is the number that I have in my head.
I'm going to say 65.
No.
53.
It was 1953. You were close.
That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
you were closer than I was.
I meant that.
I didn't know they were that old.
I didn't.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, right. I got 3 on this next 3 right here. Charity's about to get some money in.
All right.
Right.
How many Grammys does John Legend have?
Wow. Yeah, that's not 13.
Wow.
Aisha's like, watching me as I answer every question wrong. She's thinking in her head, is he gonna get 1 right? You know what I'm saying?
I know that
I looked at
Oh,
you with
shit.
that one.
Yeah.
You were
pretty
almost
close.
close.
You
was
was
close.
really
Yeah.
close. It's 10.
It's 10. Damn.
I meant the ones he's getting this year too.
Shit. I didn't know he had that many, bro.
Right.
But you
Okay.
said that with so much confidence.
I
Yeah,
did.
he
I
did.
did.
I was like, man, he must know it.
Yeah.
He
I
really
was
said
sure.
that with
He
so
did.
much
But
confidence.
you was pretty close.
Okay, let's see. Is it 2 questions I have left to get right?
Yeah,
Right.
2 more.
Okay. My charity's not seeing that. They're gonna have to fend for themselves. They have to wait for it.
What is the name of the 4th book in the Harry Potter series?
Man, that's a hard question.
It's Harry Potter, the Wizard of Wolf Tree.
It was on the screen. Goblet
Goblet
of
of
Fire.
Fire.
That's the next book. So Wizard of Wolf. All right. Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
This one,
This is it.
you should get the answer to this.
Nobody knows this.
I got this one.
When was the company Nike founded?
1947. That's it.
71.
Was it 71?
Yeah.
1971.
That's so
German
crazy.
company. I think
Right.
the dude from Adidas quit and made Nike. This one is something like that.
Is that what happened? I thought so. I knew Adidas was running.
Yeah, they
Right. Okay.
It's-
Is there like an award for getting all the questions wrong? Is there like something I win? Like I guess a bottle of water. This is great.
Hey, well, thanks for trying.
Questions.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
thanks
thank
for
you. That was
trying.
great. That was
Hey, definitely. Thanks for trying. All right, so we're gonna go on to.
Right. Just right there, man. Why is TJ's picture on the wall? That's trash. That's not fresh, yo. That's not fresh. This picture on the wall.
We're gonna go on to the news now. We want to thank you, man. If anybody you want to shout out or any way to people to contact you
Yes.
to make sure they can catch up with Radio Supa.
Yes. I got to give a big shout out to my whole Radio Super team. Lisa Marines, Kim Vaughn, Marie, Professor X, big shout out to all of them. Chase down OTH Magazine. OTH Magazine on the cover this month, so make sure you go out and get it. National Hip Hop Magazine, support with that. There's a lot of new stuff coming up, and you guys can keep up with me and all those things that are happening across the board. TJ Super, TJ SUPA, Radio Super, Radio SUPA, or Rock the Night Show. Any one of those, you guys can follow me and keep up with me and anything like that. And you know, be better with these questions than I was.
The Rock the Mic Show, TJ Supa, Radio Supa. Definitely catch up with him. Go to his site, catch his show. It's definitely always legendary and always a lovely show to catch up with. And it's definitely a learning experience and giving you all the information about hip hop and more. So we're going to go on to the Habari News Weekly and talk about some of the things from this week. I'm going to go a little bit over the year in review also while we're going through. And if anything you want to say, TJ, you know what I'm saying? You can say whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had last couple of days been tough for the last for the world, as I would say, for the Hollywood, for the known people, a lot of people that are very known. We've lost a lot of people. We lost Betty White.
Yeah.
First it was John Madden, then Betty White.
Right.
Then we had Sam Jones passed away, the Celtic great. We also had this morning Dan Reeves, a Cowboy coach great. So it's been a tough last couple of days bringing in the year, man. In 2001 altogether has been a scary year, man. Still fighting COVID. We still have issues with guns and violence going through the cities and all the schools. This year was a high in most places for murders. LA is seeing an increase. Chicago, like always, is always up there, you know. And we hopefully next year, this coming year, 2022, we can make a difference and do something different, man. And we're all hoping for a change and a new narrative for 2022. But I also want to talk about some of the top stories from this year. We had the U.S. Capitol riots happen in January. We had the GameStop short squeeze from GameStop with the stocks. We had the release of the Facebook files that happened this year. Facebook went through a lot of trouble with a lot of information coming out. Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty. We had the rise of NFTs, which is a big investment for people who want to get into non-fungible tokens. We also saw a jury found police officer Derek Chauvin guilty for murdering George Floyd.
Right.
We saw the successful splashdown of the first operational space flight by a private company.
Okay.
Elon Musk's SpaceX.
Right.
We also saw the partial collapse of a 12-story condominium in Surfside, Florida, killing 98 residents.
Right.
Which is really sad, man. Terrible. July brought the 32nd Summer Olympics Games to Tokyo.
Okay.
A year after being postponed.
Yeah.
The U.S. Topped the medal count with 113 medals.
Yeah.
July brought the 32nd, September saw the implementation of the Texas Heartbeat Act, which bans abortions after roughly 6 weeks.
Yeah.
The Supreme Court has declined to block the law, saying it's a question for the lower courts, which is pretty ridiculous.
Right.
So that will be an ongoing fight through 2022. Politics will be fighting that, and hopefully they can do something to keep the woman's womb off the table and then in their doctor's decisions.
Right.
October brought the welcome news that the World Health Organization had endorsed the world's first vaccine against malaria, which is huge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? While we sitting around and we cry about the vaccines for COVID-19, people are suffering all around the world with other situations, and people are dying.
So many others
in the masses for malaria.
Right.
And for people to get this vaccine is a huge help.
Right.
And hopefully the amount of people dying from malaria will decrease this year.
Heavily.
Yes, definitely, because that's been a huge issue for Africa for a long time. And hopefully this right here will be it. Right. In December, tornadoes ripped through the South and Midwest, killing at least 91 people.
Right.
In 2021, we lost our good friend Daniel.
Yes.
We love and miss you, homie. We wish you was still here, man. And we dedicate everything we did this year to you.
Yeah.
Because we wouldn't have been able to do any of it without him, man. And,
right.
We miss you, bro, and definitely wanted to dedicate this year to him.
So many, interesting. If I could jump in there, it's interesting because me and Daniel had a conversation about, a lot of the next steps that he was interested in taking with the show. I guess shortly before his passing. So it's terrible because he had a lot of great ideas and we haven't really talked about some of the things that we're doing in terms of records for the show and his role. And it's sad that he wasn't able to implement those ideas. But yeah, it was. I remember us having a conversation about it. So.
He was definitely a pioneer, man, when it came to patting each other on the back, and making sure that we know how important we are to the neighborhood, to the stance, to the movement, and that's why I try to change my whole approach to things, man, because I have to do what he was doing, right? You know what I mean? I wasn't that type of person. I was kind of kicked back in the cuts, you know what I mean? I wasn't real talkative, or I wouldn't really do those type of things. Yeah. But now it's time for me to step up and make sure that people know about people like you, and I'm gonna speak on it, and talk about it, and change the narrative, man, because that's what he wanted to do. And, we wanted to become something big in media. Yeah. So this is the mission, man. So I'm going to keep that going, right? And Habari Entertainment is going to live that from now on, right? So make sure you check out our website. We're always going to be posting articles and posting news stories about the news and entertainment and everything else. You want to get into the Hollywood hotness, Mama?
Sorry, I had to.
We got, you want to welcome the little one. We got another person in the house.
Jimmy in the house. Say, hey, Mama.
Looking at people like, who is that?
Right. She's looking like that.
Is that your camel face, Mama? Okay. So what you got, Mom?
All right. So this week in Hollywood Hotness, I'll be your host. We will be discussing Trey Songz. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but those of you that are, Trey Songz has been accused of being a rapist.
Oh, wow.
Nah, man.
This has been an ongoing issue with Trey Songz, starting as far back as 2015, where he did the Rexa interview, and she was one of the girls that accused him.
Oh, wow.
Keke Palmer is another one.
No.
She warned the public that he had weird treatment towards women, that he basically brought her to a party, and it was during the party he was filming a music video in which she hid in the closet and put that part into his pick up the phone music video. He did that without her consent, and she said that he used sexual intimidation to coerce her into the video.
Wow.
In 2018, Trey Songz turned himself in to the authorities after being involved in a domestic violence incident where he was allegedly attacked Andrea Yura at a
Right.
party.
Right.
She ultimately sued him, and after that, she ended up dropping the lawsuit. Um, in 2020, he was accused of sexual misconduct from a woman named Azalea. She said that he urinated on her during a sexual encounter.
Wow.
And then last month, it was reported that Trey Songz was under investigation for sexual assault in Las Vegas. Him and his crew took the girls back to a hotel after his 37th birthday. And the latest is Dylan Gonzalez, where she took to social media just a few days ago, or yesterday, or day before, and she said that Trey Songz is a rapist. And
Wow.
she followed up with another tweet that said, "Lord, forgive me, I couldn't hold them in for another year." So it's been a
Wow.
busy 5-6 years for Trey
Wow.
Songz.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So it, you know,
That's
he's
a
got
lot.
a
That's a lot of accusations
Yeah,
from
man.
like people with names.
6.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
6 different women, different, different instances, different things, different scenarios and how they happen.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Especially, he pulled the R. Kelly move. He urinated on the chicks. So it's not really looking good for him.
Yeah.
We'll see if he ends up getting guilty like R. Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, we're a long way from that.
Yeah.
But
Right.
they're probably going to start looking into this.
Into all
this
the women
this
that
is
he's
the,
had encounters
the
with.
sixth
Right.
story that has
Right.
came out.
Right.
Yeah.
So expect investigators to start coming around and start peeping into them. So
Definitely.
and these men, on power trips, I'm not 100% sure what's going on. I don't know everything, but this power trip thing, man, is an issue. It's not like it's new. This is
No.
It's been around since as long as there have been men.
Right.
But it's definitely a situation that needs to be taken care of. Man. Women aren't taking this shit. They're not taking it. So,
We're still living in the era of Me Too.
but I mean, like, this is what the second, third year, fourth year of Me Too.
Right.
And women are speaking up. And
Right.
once the floodgates open,
Yes.
There's no going back. There's no closing.
It's opening for bro, and he gotta get in front of this, or something needs to change in his behavior,
Right.
or he'll be having issues. You have any other big stories that's going on in Hollywood?
I don't have any other stories going on in Hollywood, but I did have a story that was locally.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a great story, considering the fact that guns are readily available. There's so
Big
much
issue for our city.
Right. I mean, it's not just our city; it's an issue
Across the
cities
nation.
across America.
That's right.
The police are investigating a triple shooting at a West Valley bar. About 10:30 on Sunday night, police were called to a business near 51st Avenue and Indian School, where there were reports of a shooting. When they got there, they learned that a shooting had occurred at the Purple Turtle Sports Bar and Grill. That was Right. After that, an altercation between a group of individuals and security guards. So a group of security guards and individuals had got into an altercation. 3 security guards were struck by gunfire, according to Phoenix police. 2 of them received life-threatening injuries and were taken to a hospital. And the 3rd guard's injuries were said to be non-life-threatening, but the shooter left the area before police arrived at the scene. So
they know who he is, though. They know who the shooter is.
they haven't said who the shooter is. They haven't
They
received
must
other
know. I
information.
hope.
So
It's make me think of my nephew's situation, fucking with these stupid
At
bars,
bars.
man. He was killed in a bar in 2020. Messing with these bars, man. And these bars don't have the right security. They don't pat people down. They let people in the buildings with guns, and then they're intimidated by the customers. You know, the security guard's supposed to be the guys that's in charge, but usually that's not the situation. It's the thugs that come in, and they're the ones who have the power over the bar. What's going on? They're the ones that have all these guns, and the bars usually agree with the guys and let the guys in. And then someone's life is taken. You know?
And especially if it's a case where like the group of individuals and the security guards, they all like hung out and knew each other, or whatever the case,
It's
whatever the
usually a
altercation
neighborhood
was.
bar, and the same thugs.
Right, they be in there. It's
all
regulars.
the time.
They're
Right.
regular patrons of the bar.
It's sad. But you know me, I always say, man, let's get rid of all these goddamn guns. Like, hey, you gotta have rules. Life has to. It doesn't matter if the people break them. You gotta have them. That's real, man. But on to my story for Hollywood. I want to talk about the book of Boba Fett. The new show just came out on Disney Plus. Critics say episode 1 is a slow burn and reintroduction to a Star Wars icon. I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything on the episode. The spin-off reintroduces the galaxy's most feared bounty hunter into streaming audience with the first episode that's a heavy on character backstory and world building. The return of legendary bounty hunter Boba Fett, who's played by Tamara Morrison, I believe, was teased in the end credit sequence of the Mandalorian season 2 finale. And after a year-long wait, the book of Boba Fett made its official premiere on Disney Plus with mercenary Max, whatever, by his side, old girl from Shield. Shield. I don't want to mess her up. Ming Na Wen. Yeah. She's a
badass actress.
I like her, man. And I always, I always talk about some women are not believable. Like,
she's believable.
I believe she can fuck somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I believe Ming can knock a motherfucker out.
Right.
You know, I like her, man. She's really good, man. I'm loving the series so far. The first episode was really dope, giving you some of the backstory and some of the pieces that they've missed out through the years. It's pretty dope to see. I'm not a huge Star Wars nerd, but I definitely try to check it out just because I'm into whatever's going on in media nowadays. So check out the next episode. I think it's coming out Wednesday, and we'll talk about that next week. And I think that's all for Hollywood Hotness this week. That's all you got. Yeah. All right, man. So what you guys have? What's your upcoming year? Do you have any what do they call those?
Resolutions.
There you go. I spaced it. Do you have any New Year's resolutions? What you gonna do different this year? You gonna eat less fried chicken? You gonna smoke less blunts?
Right.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, I don't usually do any New Year's resolutions. You know what I mean? There are some so that's going to be coming out. So that's going to be happening soon.
Oh, big.
It should happen this year. That's the current project. Just continue this in terms of the syndication of the radio, syndication of the show. We look forward to another this month.
Man, we definitely hope nothing but success for you for 2022. William,
Yo.
what you got, man? What's your New Year's resolution, man? You gonna play less video games? Are you gonna put in less time, or you gonna platinum some shit this year? That's the last goal.
Nah, probably just carry over from last year. Fill up another sketch pad.
Another sketch pad.
Mm-hmm. Fill it up like a whole book. Just fill it up.
You just gave him like
I didn't know
ideas.
You draw?
Yeah, I told you.
draw, man.
I told you I draw. I thought y'all sold my art book at work.
Yeah.
If it was early in the morning, you probably were.
Yeah.
What's your New Year's resolution, babe? What you got going?
This year, I'm gonna focus on less procrastinating. That is my worst. That's what I need to work on.
And hidden that word procrastination is she's going to exercise. That's what's hidden that word, right?
I don't know.
Isn't that what? Oh, you talking about the t-shirts?
T-shirts, focus on business mostly, and little mama here.
Demi, what's your resolution for this year? Are you going? Oh, okay. You gonna max out less diapers?
She said, I'm gonna start walking.
We
I'm gonna start talking.
Yeah, you're already crawling some of this shit, so now it's walking, right? Talking. Let's get it going, Mom. Well, I don't really do New Year's resolutions myself. I hate to give myself. I would say say something and then don't meet that requirement that I put in stone, and then I look back and I'm like, just like I saw a post about my book. Said I'm gonna finish it. I did finish it. I did finish the 5 books that I wanted to finish, but I haven't finished my whole comic as a whole. You know what I mean?
We got to finish out the storyboarding.
Yeah, I wanted to finish out the storyboarding and start going into the phase and start doing the comic. So Will, you might be my guy on that to help me out this year. We can get that going. I'm gonna get a graphics tablet in here so we can start doing one of those real big ones. You know what I mean? So we can start doing some shit right on spot, man, and start doing some cartoons in here and some comics. I'm thinking comics really before I go into cartoons because it's so expensive. But either or, we're gonna get it going, man. And that's this year. We hope Habari Live and Habari Entertainment can steady grow and build and reach more and more people. We incorporated this year. We got our location this year. We made sure that we got the podcast going. We started our video and photography company. Producing media and videos for people and events and weddings. So reach us if you need any of that. We got the website built this year. So 2021 was a big year for Habari Entertainment and us as a family with bringing in a new little one, Demi. And we hope 2022 can build on that foundation because this is all for you, babe. You know what I mean? This is all we're doing this shit for. Is to make sure the future is good for her. Right. You know what I mean? That's about that's what it is, man. It's all about the kids. So we're gonna go ahead and let you guys have it for today. Have a good rest of your Saturday. Anybody else want to say anything else? Most definitely. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everyone, and I hope. Well, Demi, let y'all know how she feel for the year, and we're gonna let you guys have it for the rest of the day. Happy New Year! Enjoy your 2022.
Holla holla!
Peace.